So let me start off first by talking a little bit about customers. We all understand in marketing that the purpose of a business is to create and keep a customer. These are the time-honored words of Peter Drucker. But putting that into practice isn't necessarily always the easiest thing to do. And one of the things I always tell my clients is you have to post on your PC in front of you at your desk a yellow Post-it note that says re-recruit your customers every day, because your customers are your company's #1 asset. They are the source of all cash flow at the company. They are the source of all organic growth. Of course, you can acquire another company and gain customers that way, but when it comes to organic growth, your existing customers and the potential customers you can bring in are the source of all that growth. And most importantly of all, in an interactive digital age with YouTube and so forth, they are also the co-creators of the brand meaning of the brand of your company, or the brands of your company, and the corporate reputation of the company. And those companies we know who really engage their customers and empower them to help create the brand meaning are the ones that do really well in the digital era. So re-recruiting your customers every day is super important. Now let me just give you one example from the history books. As we're looking at the Toyota recall today, you may remember 20 years ago that Johnson & Johnson had to recall Tylenol. And that's one of the most famous marketing recall cases in the history books. And there are a couple of very famous quotes from the then CEO of Johnson & Johnson when this product, Tylenol, was recalled. Remember that Tylenol was recalled after there was a poisoning incident, and 6 months later it was relaunched, and within a very short space of time it not only recovered the market share it had held before, it exceeded that market share, even though it was off the market for 6+ months. And what he says in his review is the value of the corporate brand is the net present value of the cumulative trust that your past marketing efforts have earned from your customers. In other words, this trust factor is hugely important, and that trust is what saves companies when they get into trouble like Tylenol and J&J had at that time. And what he further says is, referring to the famous Johnson & Johnson credo, a company credo that puts customers first and shareholders last ultimately benefited both groups. In other words, by putting the customer first, withdrawing the product from all of the United States stores at great expense, redoing the packaging to make it tamper-proof, then relaunching, in the end, the shareholders of Johnson & Johnson did much better than if J&J had just tried to muddle through and not take bold action like that. So this is a good story to bear in mind as we're looking at some of the recall strategies, if I can use that word loosely, that we see in the marketplace today.